Plaintiff Jacqueline Terlecki dated the defendant, and she admits that she was a jealous girlfriend. Jacqueline claims the defendant broke up with her, claiming he was no longer in love with her. And now he's married, despite the fact that he said he wasn't in love with his wife. Jacqueline's suing her ex for half the proceeds of a boat sale. Defendant Sean Wilson says he felt trapped in his relationship with Jacqueline because every time he tried to break up with her, she would threaten to call the police and accuse him of abuse. Sean does not believe Jacqueline's entitled to half of the proceeds from the sale of the boat.
Tell me what's going on.
Me and Sean, we dated for 8 years. The first thing he's probably gonna tell you is that I was a very jealous, controlling girlfriend. I will admit I was jealous. I feel I had every reason to be. He had a female friend that he was very close with. They would tell each other they loved each other on the phone. They went away for a weekend together.
Did you ever invite yourself?
The weekend away I did not know about.
Oh.
I found out after the fact.
He would be missing for a weekend. He told you something?
We were dating but not living together yet.
All right.
And then I found out he had told me they were at a party and they ended up sleeping in the same bed together, but he always told me nothing ever happened between the two of them, but I was always suspicious. He would do anything for her. We broke up in 2009. We stayed in touch. He is with his current wife.
How long did he go with her?
A year and a half.
So he went with you for 8 years and wouldn't marry you, but he get a woman 1 year and marry her. Go ahead.
They broke up and they had gotten back together. He told me he never even loved her, that if his...
The wife?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
she was a rebound from you.
Well, he dated one girl previous. Like after me, he dated one girl and she ended up leaving him. But he told me if she ever wanted him back, he would take her back in a heartbeat, and that he didn't love his current wife.
How about you? Where do you fit in on the take back? Why'd you all break up?
Why?
In 2009, yeah, after 8 years.
He sat me down, told me he loved me as a person, but nothing more than that. He felt like breaking up with me for years. It was like a scene out of a movie. It was, I don't know who I am anymore. I'm lost. I just did not know what to say. I sat in my room for 3 days. He had already made up his mind. There was nothing I could do to try to fix anything. So that's why today
Your daddy didn't teach you better than that.
Oh, yes, he did.
Well, why do you break that woman's heart like that? Why didn't you at least ease back a little bit or something? You set the woman down out of the blue. Hey, let me talk to you for a minute. I know we've been in love and there's no sign of a problem in this relationship, but let me just spring this on you.
Yeah, we had a house together, dogs together. I mean, it was a life.
There was no indication that something was going wrong? Did he ever threaten to leave? I'm gonna leave you in a minute. I'm mad at you. I hate you. Something?
We always talked about getting married, and the weekend before he actually broke up with me, there was a plan to take our new motorcycle to Duluth, Minnesota, and he was going to propose. And I
proposed to break up.
Right. I just had this talk with one of my sons. I'm not going to tell you which one. I don't want to get him in trouble. He's done it twice. Suddenly, out of the blue. They love him, and then suddenly out of the blue, look here, I don't want to do this. So I've told him, son, you can't do girls like that. You can't just out of the blue, if there's no indication of discord in the relationship, you just spring on them one day that you don't want to go with them anymore, and they're all in love with you. So this latest one he's dating, I say, okay, make sure you don't do what you did to her. He said, oh no, I'm telling him up front that I know you're going to fall in love with me, but I'm not ready for that. I said, well, you don't have to sound so. I know you're going to fall in love with me because all girls do, but I'm telling you up front that I don't want that type of relationship. I say it's good to say that, but you don't have to sound so boastful because you might be the one falling in love and getting your heart broke, which might be your next move. This your current woman? Lady?
My wife.
Wife? She looks like a heartbreaker. She looks like a heartbreaker. You better watch out while you're breaking hearts. So let me have some background from you, and then we'll get into the specifics of the boat.
Certainly. Me and Jacqueline dated for 8 years. Like she said, she was a very jealous person, very controlling. At times we've tried to break it off many times during the relationship, especially early on, but she would always come back with some sort of, threat that she would gonna call the police, tell her that I abused her or something like that, which was totally false. At times I really felt trapped in the relationship. I really did care about Jacqueline. I really did. I care about what happens to her. I care about her, and I really tried to make it work. She would always tell me, I'm gonna get better. Things are gonna get better, and I believed her, and I wanted to make that work, and really it started coming down to it, just started, getting...
So it was problematic for some time.
Right from the beginning.
So she shouldn't have been shocked that you all broke up.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, all right.
Absolutely.
Your Honor,
it should...
that I never threatened him to do anything if we had broken up. We actually, when I moved to Minnesota with him in 2002, we had an apartment for like a year, not even a year, and he broke up with me. And
but the issue is whether the relationship was troubled, whether it was problematic for a significant amount of time. That being the case, then yeah, people should expect that any day now I'm gonna get put out or broken up with, or get that talk, or they call you in, I need you to sit down. You hear that, Doc?
That's a bad sign.
Oh, that's a bad sign. I need you to sit down. Well, talk to me standing up. No, you need to sit down. Don't sit down. Maybe that'll stop him from saying it. Ladies, any man can say, come in and could you sit down? I need to talk. Say, nope, I ain't sitting down. Maybe that'll stop you from being quick. Anything else before we get to the boat she's suing you for?
Yeah, there's a list a mile long, where do you want to start?
well, there's always a long history with 8 years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, what about this woman?
About what?
About
this
one you were skipping out of town with,
all right.
Playing like it was your friend for all these years.
That's exactly what she was.
Were you skipping town with her?
Never skipping town. I don't go off and
They went to Duluth, Minnesota, and I found out from his dad that he left town, and he called me 3 days later saying this is where I was.
Yeah, because I went up.
That's skipping town.
Yeah, you know where I went up with?
Skip town.
Skip town. I went up there with her and her boyfriend, actually, at the time, to a cabin.
Don't tell nobody that. Hold on, that's too much. That's too much information, Doc.
Too much information. Yeah, right.
So tell me about the boat. You're suing him for a boat sale. So obviously, you all purchased a boat together.
Well, having the joint bank account and both of our paychecks, everything went into the account. All the bills were paid through the account. Neither one of us had our own account until after we broke up. I have records of our joint bank account together, and we were both on the title of the boat. I have that. I have our signatures on the loan agreement and every single payment that was ever made. Even when we broke up, I have on here when I stopped paying and the payments that were strictly his that I did not contribute.
Okay, and you stopped contributing when?
November of 2009.
All right.
So we purchased it in 2007. And in 2009, when we broke up, I said the boat needs to come out of my name. Either refinance it or sell it. And he called me. He had gotten it sold. So he sold it. He said...
He sold it in 2009?
2010.
The boat was sold in 2011.
All right, but let's talk about what was discussed in 2009 when you all broke up. When did you all change the payment arrangement on the boat?
November of 2009 when I
So
stopped
that's
paying.
when things changed, sir,
Yes.
is November?
I have October, the month before that.
All right, and what was that change?
She basically, when we split, okay, Jacqueline went and got her own bank account. Mm-hmm. Okay, and she was putting her own money in that. I took over the payments on the boat. I also took over the payments on our house.
And so when he sold it, you want how much of the proceeds? What percentage? Half the proceeds of what it sold for, or
From
the
what
profit.
he profited.
Right, sir. How much did you profit? Do you know how much he profited?
It was $8,000.
$7,677.10.
All right. And what do you think she should get out of that, if not half?
Well, I have evidence here showing from the time that we broke up that I was the only one putting money into our account, which I paid for the payments for 22 months.
Ma'am, why shouldn't he deduct from your half the amount he paid?
I have, from when I stopped making payments in 2009, November, a breakdown of every payment that was made, and it comes out to $8,140. So half of that is even from the payments that he
No, let's go over
made.
what you paid from the time you broke up until the time he sold the boat.
That
How
I
much
paid
did
nothing.
you pay?
Nothing.
And you were supposed to have paid half. See, what I'm not understanding is why do you think you should get equal monies with him when he paid your share for 2 years? It won't be half and half because you failed to pay for 2 years. You paid how much in 2 years on her behalf?
Well, I have a sheet here.
Let's
Can
see
I-
it. The
can I give
total
that
you
to
paid for the 2 years that you paid solely,
$5,000, the highlighted amount there. is what I paid,
$5,762.
Yes.
And half of that would be, divide that by 2, $5,762.
$2,881.
$2,881. So, ma'am, do you understand that you would have been paying $2,881 as your half?
Yes.
Okay, so if you would have paid $2,881 as your half of the payments from 09 till 11, and you did not pay that, he paid it instead, then you cannot get the same amount. You can get the half, which is what? $3,839, what you're asking for, minus what you failed to pay.
Okay.
$2,881. What does that come to?
$958.
That's your judgment, ma'am. $958. Have a good day.
I'm glad it's over, actually.
Me too.
I felt it was fair. Yeah, and I think we both don't need to talk to each other anymore about it, really.
Well, he knows he's screwed me over pretty bad in a lot of aspects. I hope he doesn't do the same to his wife.